Hey guys, it's me, U.S.N Johnny Ty from the c.u.m.a Survival School here in Chicago. Today I'm visiting with a good friend, Ed Kim of REDHORSE KNIFEWORKS. Ed has a shop that's literally minutes from my house, and so I've known him from around, from the bar industry, from the bouncing industry, and through friends and family. And he's a badass custom knife maker. I got one of his knives to War Pig. So I decided just to visit his shop and give you guys a tour. He agreed to show you guys his shop and talk about what he does. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut up a little bit and let him talk. How's that sound, Ed?
Pretty good, pretty good.
All right, man. So anyway, Ed, it's good to see you, bro. So what you have in your hand is, what's that called?
This is the Hellraiser. This is one of our kind of elite models. It's really what put us on the map because it doesn't look like anything else that's out there in the market.
Okay.
There's a few of our knives where you could reference it to something else. Like, hey, the recurve kind of looks like this or that company.
Sure.
This knife usually people look at and they say that's an extremely unique design, and I've never seen anything like it. So it's one of my favorites.
Show those guys the knife a little bit. That's nice. It's called the Hellraiser. That thing is badass. I like it.
Yeah, it's fashioned after obviously an old-time straight razor,
right?
Which is very Americana. It's very, it's purely American, using the straight razor as anything else other than a razor.
Right.
It's always being featured in films and stuff like that. So that's kind of where the inspiration came from. It's supposed to be just stupid intimidating.
It is. I'm intimidated just looking at it. All right, so we're going to take a tour around his shop. He's going to show you some knives, and he's going to, maybe sharpen a knife or two and just kind of show you what he does. Stay tuned. All right, dude, so show us around, man.
Yeah, welcome to my shop. This is where all the magic happens.
Cool.
This is kind of the main assembly area. We spend probably 80% of our time on here just putting together, fitting. A lot of people don't realize that I'll probably assemble a knife 50 to 60 times each to get the fitment right, to make sure everything's to spec. And whatnot. These are actually knives that come in that want aftermarket customization, which we also offer. You could buy a knife from one of our dealers. You could buy a knife from secondhand, and say you want a custom clip, custom blade finish, custom handle finish. You can send it right back to us, and we'll customize it for you.
Very cool.
So and that's something that not a lot of guys in the knife industry do. This is kind of like the main, my main work area, where all the fitment happens. Right. Over here is where all the mock-up happens, any of the hand sanding, finishing, stuff like that. This is kind of like the dirt area.
Okay.
Etching, we etch all our logos on each, individual blade. It's where they get serialized and numbered and whatnot.
Okay, so you hand etched them?
We do hand etch them.
Okay, cool.
This is our main machine. Probably 90% of the machining that we do in-house is all done on this machine. We've done every possible upgrade to this machine, as you can imagine, all the hoses and whatnot sticking out of it. But this is our workhorse. This is our Bridgeport. It's a pretty heavy-duty machine, extremely reliable and very precision.
Cool.
Just our minor equipment. We use this drill press just as a chamfering device. This is probably one of our coolest pieces of equipment in the shop. This is a 1969 Frederick Deckel pantograph. This was the CNC machine before CNC even existed. So this is how, back in the 60s, early 50s and 40s, during the Industrial Revolution and whatnot, this is how they copied or made duplicate pieces. So you'd have your blank here, and you would just follow it around with the stylus, and the cutting bit goes here, and it cuts out whatever you want.
That's very cool, dude.
Yeah, we use this machine primarily for customization. Like crazy bolsters, things of that nature. So it's usually only meant for the upper end of our knives.
Okay.
Here's our lathe where, again, we cut off custom parts. Again, if you want like a custom standoff or anything, round in nature, it all gets, cut out on this machine. That's our surface grinder. Every piece gets surface ground precision to the 1/10,000ths. So what that machine does is basically flattens out the piece of steel and puts a real nice finish on it. I could change the belts and get it to a mirror polish if I wanted to,
Okay.
Which we don't do too often. Here's our grinding area. All the hand details, the blade grinding, and everything gets done here. Guy named Travis Wertz makes this machine. It's a fantastic machine. It's probably the best grinder I've ever used. It's so versatile. We can set it up for any operation. In a little bit, I'll show you how I sharpen the blades. And if I want to, the beauty about this machine is if I want to go vertical, it's at vertical right now, I can go horizontal as well.
Oh, cool. Who makes this machine?
Travis Wertz,
Okay.
out of Washington.
That's
Again,
very cool.
I've tried a lot of different grinding machines, and this machine is like the Ferrari of grinders.
Well, you're shooting to make the Ferrari of knives, right? So
Exactly. This is our lock setting machine. It's dedicated solely to setting our locks on the knives, and it's very precision. I could repeat the process many times over. The lock setting is probably one of the most important things in making a folding knife. If it's done improperly, it's basically junk,
right.
and you just ruin like a $500 knife. So, you know, we've got a dial indicator here. Everything is mapped out, so we could set it to exact mathematical properties.
So you guys just opened up this shop like what, last year?
We've been here for about a year and a half tops.
Okay.
Yeah, the company's actually only about 2 years old.
Okay.
So.
Well, you're doing a kick-ass job, dude. What else has got going on here?
This is the heat treat area. This is our 1,200 pound heat treat oven. This will actually get up to maximum temperature about 2,500 degrees.
Okay.
In about half an hour.
Cool.
So it's a great machine. It's got a huge mouth to it that we can put a lot of knives in, and we could go as big as, you know, as big or as small as we want. We do all the heat treating in-house for quality control. I've tried doing the heat treating outsourced, and I never got the results I wanted. So we bought our own machine. We do all the heat treating in-house. We do all the tempering in-house. And after every blade is heat treated, it gets tested. And if the blade isn't hard enough, it gets scrapped. So we try to keep everything within a ½ point tolerance to what, you know, we advertise it as. So you know that every blade that you get in is going to be a 60 Rockwell hardness or whatever I decide that particular blade needs to be set at.
Cool, man.
So this is just one of our quality control things where it eliminates a lot of the variables.
Well, as you know, I own the War Pig, so you're going to go ahead and put a razor edge on it right now, right?
Yeah, we tuned it up a little bit, and now we're going to put a hair shaving sharp edge on it.
Cool. All right, so let's get this thing manscaping sharp. Hold on, fuck. All right.
I've got a 120 grit ceramic belt on here. We use all ceramic belts because they produce far less heat. And heat, when you're doing the final edge, is the enemy because we don't want to lose our temper. We've got them set exactly where we want them. So if you start to see any browning or bluing on the blade, you've ruined your temper and you actually have to reheat treat the blade. So that's why we use the ceramic belts. I'm going to go 120, 240, 400, and then 800, and then I'm going to buff out the blade to get our final edge.
Okay.
Now what I'm doing is I'm checking for the burr. As soon as I got a good burr going, I'll switch sides. Or I'll switch grits, I'm sorry.
Very cool. So what grit is this?
This is our final grit. This is an 800 grit, which as you can tell, starts to get almost mirror polished.
Right.
And then after this, I'm going to do the other side. we got a nice burr going on this. I'm going to even it out to the other side, and then we're going to buff it, which is probably the most dangerous part of all knife making, is buffing the final edge. Alright, so this is the last and final part. We've got a nice burr on our edge, and I'm going to buff off the burr, and that's going to give us that hair cutting sharpness. This is probably the most dangerous operation of all knife making. A lot of guys have lost their fingers doing it, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to be holding my breath.
Alright, well don't lose your fingers, alright?
That's it. Do a little quick test. I don't have any hair on my arms left anymore. I cut it all off. And that is hair shaving sharp.
Alright man, so let's get that thing back together and then we're all done.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we're putting back together my war pig. Now tell me about what goes into this model. This is the titanium scales, right?
Yeah, this is your model is full titanium, which normally they come standard, which is G10.
Okay.
The full titanium is an upgrade. I think we charge $150 extra for the full titanium. Mm-hmm. Most guys prefer the full titanium for whatever.
Well, if you're going to do it right, right?
Right, exactly.
So and then it's D2 steel for the blade?
Yeah, this is 3/16 inch D2 blade, which we normally heat treat to about 60 Rockwell. And then what I'm doing is basically just the final assembly. I'm going to make sure everything is all oiled up and cleaned. I'm going to put a few drops of oil just in the pivot hole so that sucker just flies open.
What kind of bearing system you put in there?
We use all stainless steel bearings from Alpha Knife Supply, and the pivots are from Alpha Knife Supply as well. These are probably the most accurate pivots that I've ever seen in the market. As far as when I mic them up, they're always within 1/10,000th of an inch, which is insane tolerances. Most of the other stuff on the market, it's got a little bit of slop, so we prefer this stuff. And then these cage bearings, they're rated for about 365 pounds of side load, which you can't actually even produce with your hand. So they're, pretty indestructible as far as knife usage. And they make it just smooth as glass.
So these run about $349, and then the upgrade for the titanium scales are another $149, and you are actually putting on an upgraded clip for me, right?
Yeah, basically it's part of our customization package. There's different levels of customization that we offer. Like it's level 1, 2, or 3, and if you want to get really crazy, you could call us up and get a level 4 custom, which would be like a specialty Damascus or sand mine Damascus steel, and everything on it is customized. So we go from pretty mild to wild. What we're doing here is basically just putting on an anodized clip. It's just been heat anodized and adds a little bit of flavor, a little bit of pocket bling, as we call it.
Cool. So I'll just let you do what you do, and then we'll come back right after you have everything put together. All right, so this is my war pig after Ed's done with it. So he's taking it apart. He's put this titanium, the anodized titanium, is it anodized?
Yeah, anodized titanium clip.
Titanium clip on it. It's purple. It's got the full titanium scales. Go ahead, flip that open, man. So he's got basically, he put a razor sharp edge on it. Done a beautiful job, man. What else did you do to the inside of it for me?
I cleaned it all up. I greased it all up, polished the pivot hole, basically just brought it up to new.
Awesome. Can you flip that over the other way around?
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. So this is the War Pig. You can get this again on www.redhorseknives.com. And you can order it. You can customize it any way. This is basically the standard model, then it's upgraded to the full titanium scales, and then it was upgraded one more time with the titanium anodized clip. This thing is badass, and I am fucking happy to carry it. So, badass, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, man. Okay, guys, so pretty much that was Ed's shop. I think it's badass. I like it a lot. You'll see me around here more often in the future. Ed, thanks for showing me, bro.
No problem. Thanks for coming.
So, if people need to get a hold of you, how do they do that? Like, what's your website?
They can contact us at www.redhorseknifeworks.com, or email us directly at info@redhorseknifeworks.com.
So I'm going to go ahead and post that right here. That's www.redhorse.com. And if you want to know more about me, as always, you can check me out at the c.u.m.a.survivalschool.com. That's www.c.u.m.a.survivalschool.com. Again, my name is U.S.N. Johnny Ty from the c.u.m.a. Survival School. Hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. As always, stay safe, stay sharp, stay alive. Thanks, dude.
No problem.